Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is a question and answer session, something I haven't done in years. I think I was kind of worried about what questions I was going to get today just because, like a snake almost, your audience changes its skin every few years. And really it's kind of like either they get older and they move on, or they get older and they stay around, or new people come along, or whatever. It just all changes. You could have the same people forever, or new people every few years and all this stuff, so you never really know what kind of questions you're going to get. But today, I'm happy to say, and I actually texted my friend this, I was like, these questions are really smart, really smart. And it's not that I doubt with you guys, just like you never know what you're gonna get on YouTube, but I should know by now. Not even buttering you guys up, everyone says it. They look at my comment section and say I have a really great audience. I'm gonna answer all the questions in reverse order. If your question isn't in here, it means that you got in too late, and that's perfectly okay, because I think I will do this maybe once every 2 months or something like that, so you can ask a question next time again. First question is from David Wedberg 183. Will you play Hat in Time? It's very good. It's a very good 3D platformer and one of my favorite video games. I think you've had it maybe on your list of video games. You will play it. But you removed it. I did remove that game, and I do apologize. I think it was just a matter of we had so many games. I was trying to trim it out a little bit, so at least at some point we could actually get around to some of these games. It doesn't mean that we're never gonna play it. It means I could come back in Let's Plays at some point. Totally not against playing a Hat in Time. It's been suggested 1,000,001 times. Totally not against it. In fact, I think one of my channel mods plays that game too and loves it dearly, so we could play that at some point. Speedsta asks, hey, how was your day? It's been pretty good so far. I got a sandwich this morning. It was really nice. Question I like asking when I see Q&As. What music do you like to listen to? Okay, so my current on repeat, I can actually go into my on repeat on Spotify and actually check this. I haven't looked at really gone through these questions with a sieve or kind of a fine-tooth comb. I've seen some of the questions. They are very, very smart, but also I kind of wanted to just kind of be surprised by some of these questions too. So on the on repeat, it has Phoebe Bridgers, Perfect Circle, Coheed and Cambria, which are my favorite band of all time, Boy Genius, Alanis Morissette, Code Orange, Ghost, Maximum the Hormone, Killswitch Engage, Biffy Clyro, Versus the World, Fall Out Boy, Trivium, Him, Pink Pantheress, Linkin Park, what else? Deftones, System of a Down, and yeah, that's my on repeat. And that's kind of what I would listen to the most. There is a lot of Slipknot that was in the on repeat section, but I think it's gone now for some reason. I guess I wasn't listening to it as much, but yeah. That's kind of the main group of artists I listen to. I listen to Paramore sometimes too. Not as much as I used to though. But thank you for that question. Lino Dolphin 7948 asks, hi, thanks for making these relaxing videos. Thank you for watching these videos. And if they are relaxing, that's awesome. For the Q&A, what's your opinion on rhythm games? Have you thought about playing one on the channel? I think rhythm games are so much fun. I play the Persona rhythm games sometimes. I really, really enjoy them. I've always really loved the idea of playing rhythm games on the channel at some stage, maybe the Final Fantasy ones or something like that. Because I'm actually good at them. I'm actually okay with them because I used to play Guitar Hero when I was a kid. It's actually one of my things that if you go into any of my videos and there's a quick time event, you'll notice I'm actually good at those, very good at those. I'm not just saying this just because I'm trying to make myself look better or feel better. It's one of the things that I just got used to because it's kind of muscle memory as a kid. It depends on the console, of course. I can play on PlayStation. It has been my console since 2013. It's been my console since that era. So I'm kind of used to the buttons. Nintendo, I still have to think about what I'm pressing before I press it, just because I don't play Nintendo as much outside of the channel. But still, that would be my opinion on rhythm games. Necros Mayor 3007. Will you end up playing the Future Redeem DLC for the Xenoblade Chronicles 3? I will. Again, we could do it right after Pikmin. It's just always a matter of it's a long game, it's a long DLC, and I want to do it justice. I want to do it justice. I don't want to just be rushing through it, and we're going to be taking our time through it. But yeah, maybe after Pikmin we might do it. That's a maybe, by the way. I also listen to Toto, by the way. What's your all-time favorite video game box art? Okay, either Tekken 4's box art, or listen to this now, or it would have to be the original Resident Evil box art, or the Dragon Quest VIII box art, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's so pretty. Really, really pretty. Box art, the art of box art is like, is like kind of like gone. It's not as big of a deal as it used to be because people usually buy their games digitally now, but I still think the box arts are absolutely incredible. The reason why box art had to be so strong back in the day was because you had to like, that's how most people bought their games, was like walking into a store and going, wait a second, what's Dragon Quest VIII? This looks awesome. You know, and they pick up that game. Crabsy. Hello, I've been watching your channel for a while now. I'm such a fan of your videos and how you care so much about the little things in games you're playing. It makes it really enjoyable for me to watch. My question is, if you have some kind of advice for who is just starting to be starting a YouTube channel, what would it be? Right. Focus on audio before video. Get the cheapest capture card you can find that does HD, that does like 1080p. Get the cheapest microphone you can that makes you sound clear and makes your voice sound good. You should not be spending a lot of money starting a YouTube channel at all. You shouldn't be. The microphone I'm using right now is €210, which is expensive, but I only bought this once I had an audience. The laptop I'm using is more expensive. Only bought it when I had an audience. The capture card I'm using is also €210, around there. Only bought it because I have an audience now. That's literally it. There's no, like, I wouldn't have bought this stuff. My original stuff, I had a capture card that was like €80. I had a microphone that was like €40, and my laptop was just the laptop I used for you know, the whole time. It really is just like this thing of like make sure your audio sounds good, because nobody really gives a shite about your lights in the background as much as you might think they do. No one really gives that much of a damn about you know, that type of stuff, because like, look at the most popular streamers. You look at someone like Maximilian Dude. Like, yes, his background looks great, but the people are always focused on his face. That's what people are there for. People are there for his personality. People are always there for your personality. I would also say, don't do a big intro. Don't do like a 30-second intro. The reason why, again, Maximilian Dude can do like a 10-second intro at the start of his videos, the reason Game Grumps can do that is because they already have like a dedicated fan base. A lot of people will click on a video, and if there's a long intro on it that lasts longer than like 5 seconds, they will legit click off. And this is like something from YouTube. They'll be like, yeah, you know, just, I don't want to watch this. Like, I have to already watch a 5-second ad. Now I have to watch like a 5-second or like a 12-second intro. And you might be like, that doesn't sound right. People will do that. Start the video as soon as possible. Don't stay on the menu too long if you're playing a video game. Like, that's what I'd say. Never explain why you're playing a video game too much, because then it sounds like you are being beholden to something, when really you should just be like, hey, we're playing Pikmin, you know, and say, you know, hey, I'm excited to play this, which if you're not excited to play, don't say that. But you get what I'm saying. I think too many times people focus too much on like, I have to look amazing, I have to look fantastic. If you filmed your face cam on your phone, like, nobody is going to care, because again, here's another thing. In my audience, only like 9% of the people in the audience watch on a TV. And that is where people are going to see all the, like, the HDness. They're going to see all your imperfections. The fact that I record my videos with a fantastic capture card and record my videos with like a great microphone and a great setup is literally just because I can afford to do that now. But for you, if you're starting off, I'm not saying that you can't afford it. I'm saying that, like, the majority of people watch YouTube on their phones. The majority of people watch YouTube on their phones without headphones. So I will say this right now. If they're sitting on their lap with the phone in their lap watching YouTube, you do not need to have the fanciest microphone. Just focus on getting your personality across. That's always the most important thing. A Long Dream. I'm sorry that sounded like I was scolding you. I was just trying to give advice. I'm just very, like, I'm very passionate about that aspect of it. A Long Dreams. Which video game would you most like to have wiped clean from your memory so you could experience it again for the first time? Nier Replicant. This is a game because a lot of games I really feel like shaped me as a person. Like, I wouldn't like to play Shenmue for the first time again, even though it's one of my favorite games, or Shadow of the Colossus, or Dark Souls, or any game like that, like Tekken and Persona, because those games mean the absolute world to me, and Nier Replicant means the world to me as well. It's my, like, 3rd favorite game of all time. But the thing is, it hurts too much to go back and play that game, and I would just like to have my emotions wiped, if that could be possible, so I could go back and play it at some point. That's it. That's really it. Just Jum. Do you watch any other YouTubers? What are your favorite YouTubers? I do. I watch a lot of our YouTubers. Like, I watch Maximilian Dude sometimes. But like, I think the channels I watch the most are like Smosh. I've really gotten back into them in the past while. They're really funny. New Legacy Inc. is probably my favorite YouTube channel along with Deadlock. They're like a wrestling games channel and a wrestling retrospective channel. It's really cool to watch them as well. I'm trying to think of any other regular channels that I watch all the time. I guess like Team APS with like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff like that. I really like that stuff. But like honestly, like if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, like I'm very much like a doom scroller sometimes. I can get caught up in like just watching anything on YouTube, and like if there's a recommended video. The one thing I'm trying to stop watching is like documentaries about like people's downfall. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes it like the doom and gloom gets too much. It's fun to watch every once in a while, you know, like, but like because everyone clicks on those videos. But like for me, like it gets like, it's like, dude, another one of these. You know what I mean? Another one. Oh my god, like what's happening in this world? But yeah, I think that'd be like the main guys I watch. I still like watch people playing games. Still like my favorite thing I like to watch on YouTube. There's also a guy called Baldy Food Guy who like reviews food in Britain. He's really, really nice and really, really cool. What is Papyrus' favorite food? Sorry, I just had to. Is this something they say in the game? I think it's spaghetti. He really seems like a very spaghetti guy. That's Who Stole Kyra? 73. I'm sorry if I forget, like, I think it's like spaghetti or something, right? Or maybe something like that. Steam Games 12. Are there games you actually dislike? I actually like watching your videos because you are always so positive, but are there any games you've played that you don't like? Of course. The reason why I'm pausing my videos, and people always, like, I've been, like, accused before of being, like, kind of fake. And that's always very funny to me because, I'm recording a video for, like, 2 hours at a time. You know what I mean? You're not always gonna, like, show every aspect of yourself in 2 hours talking about Zelda, a Zelda game. But I guess if you're talking about games I actually dislike, Alan Wake is a game that, like, is, to me, an abomination. I know a lot of people really love that game, which is why I don't like to talk about it too much. I really just didn't like that game at all. I thought it was like, I actually thought it was a joke. Setting was cool, but they didn't use the setting as much as they should have. God of War 2018 was a game that, like, I liked at first, but then I was like, man, like, I'm just not into the story or the characters or anything like that. But like, I don't think it's that bad to say that I hate it. I'm trying to think of other games I'd like dislike. Usually, like, I can tell when I'm not gonna like a game, and like I stop playing it before I have a chance to dislike it. Which I can't even think of those games either. Like, really, like, I think video games are like miracles. So it's like really, like, I always like praise them to the high heaven. A lot of people think I don't like Final Fantasy 16 because I criticize it sometimes. I actually do like it quite a bit. I don't know, like, those are kind of the games I don't like. I know Alan Wake for sure is a game I, like, properly dislike. I got a review code a while back for Neo: The World Ends With You, and I played through the whole thing, and I think it kind of soured my relationship with that company that gave me the review code, with Square Enix, because I didn't put up a review for it. But my reasoning for not putting up a review for it was, like, I wasn't a fan of that game at all. And I got to the stage, right, where as I was playing that game, that I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna have to put up a review where I say this game is not good to me. But then I thought to myself, like, this game is barely gonna sell anything because it's a niche game. It's a really niche game, and it's a niche franchise. Calvin, you can't put up a review for this. So I didn't put up a review because I didn't want to, like, you know, I didn't want to influence any of my audience not to buy it, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, that's it. Like, you know, I don't know. There's not many games I dislike entirely because I feel like there's always good in some games, right? Space Lobster 21. Which game have you played on the channel have you felt the deepest connection with? I know there's several games you played with deeper topics. Just curious if any of them in particular resonated with you. Oh, because this is the first question they have, and they have a few questions. So I don't mind. You could always ask multiple questions. I would say that the game that I have the deepest connection with on the channel is probably either Undertale, Amori, or Skyward Sword. Fire Emblem Three Houses made me, like, head cry. I was bawling, so maybe that as well. Like, I was like, if you remember me playing that game, I was like, I was devastatingly sad. Yeah. Favorite games you played outside the channel? Okay, my top 5 favorite games of all time. Shadow of the Colossus #1. Final Fantasy X, number 2. Nier Replicant, number 3. Persona 5 Royal, Persona 4 Golden, number 4. And maybe Resident Evil Remake, number 5 is probably my favorite list of games of all time. During which series on the channel do you feel you fully realized you had a passion for this? So when I guess I had a passion for doing Let's Plays, it was back playing Wind Waker, I'd say. Wind Waker was like when I was like, oh my god, this is like so much fun. This is so much fun doing this. I actually thought of one more while watching your Night in the Woods Let's Play. Loving it so far, by the way. Thank you. What is the game you played on the channel that surprised you the most? Also, sorry for asking so many questions. Do not be sorry. It's 100% okay. You found the cheat code, and honestly, other people should have found it too. What game surprised me the most? I think A Night in the Woods was very surprising. I didn't expect to like get into that game as much as I did. It had a very surprising story. Sally Face was like, Sally Face feels like a fever dream. I feel like I didn't even play that game. Like looking back now, I'm like, was that even real? Like, did I even play that? Amazing art, amazing story. And now when I think of the music, I'm like, man, that like is actually pretty freaking great. Surprising games on the channel. Surprising games. The most surprising games. I'm sure I've said before other games as well. Amori's up there. Origami King surprised me because it was superb. Yeah, that's probably the answer. I hope that's a good enough answer. Cross-strung harp. By the way, I think it's just your ats, not your names, that are showing up here on this, which is, you know, interesting enough. I'm not exactly sure why that is. I hope that's not a problem. If there is a problem, we can like, you know, figure that out. But it's gonna show up anyway in the video of who asked the question anyway. If that makes sense at all. If that makes sense in any way, I hope that doesn't bother people. I'm looking at my phone that only shows the freaking ats now. They changed it to like ats. If that is an issue, like, I do apologize. I you know, but then again, like, you know, you can find someone's channel just by their name anyway and their picture anyway, so it's not gonna be that, like, it's not like that's gonna be a problem. Okay, so hi Calvin, what inspired you what inspired the don't get angry over video games philosophy on your channel? Grace, I'll tell you this right now. It's because I think video games are miracles. I think that like anything that happens in a video game took so many hours of someone to work on them. And like, honestly, like, I feel like if I'm sitting here going like, oh my god, this game sucks so bad, it gets me nowhere. I don't get better at the game doesn't get better. Like, it's much more fun for me to play a game where, like, if I have a nitpick about something, to just keep my mouth shut, because it's like, it's not going to change anything. Like, if I'm playing a game and like there's like a slightly annoying save system where you have to like flip 3 times to save, like, what's it gonna do for me to be like, oh, but this is so bad, you know what I mean? And I think you probably get that too. That's just my personal take. I think video games are miracles. Everything takes so much to make. And video games are just awesome in general, so it's really hard for me to get upset about them because they're not real. They're just video games, you know? Almeras, tell us a funny story from your experience as a teacher. I have a few. I guess the funniest one always is I was working with this kid in art, lovely kid, adore her, and we were like doing some lino prints, and she goes, sir, you're like the nicest person I've ever met. And I was like, oh god, that's like such a nice way to say it. She's like, you're the nicest person I've ever met, and then pauses and goes, but you're really not good looking at all. And I was like, that's so out of pocket, and that's such like a teenager thing to say. But if you want kind of like an uplifting, funny experience from the school, I think that like some of my favorite times in the school have literally just been walking in the front door of the school and hearing kids going like, oh my god, hi! Like, it's just like this really, really warm feeling where it's like, man, you really affected these kids and touched their hearts. It's a really nice thing to do. We have the Rexio Gaming. Are there any fairy tales you know that are from your home country? And if so, could you tell us one? I believe you're from Ireland, correct me if I'm wrong, and it has a lot of neat fairy tales. I found the Dunlin, a Banshee, can't remember if they're connected or not, to be one of those more interesting ones. I'm so sorry. I'm not connected with the Irish folklore as much as I should be. You know, there's the story of Fionn McCool where he like hit a ball down a dangerous animal's throat and killed it and saved people. There's of course like the Salmon of Knowledge where like There was a fish that was super smart, and like his assistant touched a bubble that was bursting out of the fish, and then licked the bubble, and he became super smart. There was a story about the swans where like the family became swans. I don't know. There's a lot of great stories, but I don't know them in total, and I don't have the knowledge to be able to tell you. And I'm sorry about that, but that's the case. Albin Glow 746. Do it jiggle. Some days depends on what I eat. I suppose it jiggles. Miltamores. I've been somewhat busy, haven't had the time to catch up all your stuff. Never worry about that, so to speak. So I thought I just ask any intention of playing the first 2 Pikmin games before moving on to 4. Sorry if you've answered this question or asked this a fair number of times. I'm curious, guys. I just want to say as well, ask if I'm playing games. It makes me feel good. It's like, you know, that shows an interest in the channel. I'll never be upset about people asking about games, but I'll just say this right now. It is happening. It will happen. I'd say Pikmin 1 will happen sooner rather than later. Danny, if you could have a perfect Saturday, what would it be like? I just want to say Danny has commented on more videos than anyone in the history of my channel. I think it's up there. It's a very up there. Yeah. But if you got a perfect Saturday, what would it be like? Perfect Saturday would be waking up at 7 a.m., finishing all my exercise early. Usually, if I do that, I feel amazing. Finish all the exercise early, get a really nice breakfast, meet my friend for like a coffee, come home, play some video games, get my dinner or something, and then relax for the rest of the day, either playing video games, watching Smosh, or watching like a TV show like Lost or something. And then like, I don't know, falling asleep pretty early would be really nice as well. That's my perfect Saturday. It's very simple. Flagman. Calvin, you're an awesome YouTuber, and we're one of the 2 inspirations for me going into YouTubing. You trying to advertise your channel? I'm kidding. What first made you want to play Nintendo content on your YouTube channel and subsequently fall down the Nintendo rabbit hole? Ocarina of Time came out on the Virtual Console. It's a simple answer, but that's it. Ocarina of Time came out on the Virtual Console. Scrawny Tony, classic commenter here. What's your favorite color? It used to be, I used to love like pink and blacks. I'm very partial to yellow lately. Yellow is like my favorite thing in the world. Here we go. The next question is from Charlie. Do you listen to Eminem? I do not. I've never listened to Eminem. TSB4. Hi, Romer. I'm curious, where do you find your passion in your life? Also, how's your comic come along? Sorry, did I? Oh, no, I didn't. How do you listen to him? How's your comic come along? I appreciate your content very much, and it has gotten me through some rough patches in my life. That's amazing to hear. I'm not to get rough patches. Thank you very much. Again, sorry that it's your ats here. I recognize your profile pictures, and they will show up in the videos your actual names. Hopefully. Where do I find passion in my life? Drawing. Working is like one of my favorite passions. Music is sometimes a passion. How's my comic coming along? I haven't worked on it in a while. The first comic's done. The first issue is done. But I have to like touch it up and draw a cover for it. I can release it at any time if you guys want to see it. I might release it like a hidden link so you guys can see it maybe. The full first chapter is done. It's done. 30 pages around there. It's completely done. If anyone doesn't know the comic I have, it's called Eyeball. Can't really reveal the story of it, but the first chapter is basically just introducing like the main 3 characters that are going to be in it. I'll show up maybe a picture if I can on the screen of what it's going to look like. It's a murder mystery with a twist. Hey, is it supernatural? Is it not? Looney X721. What school subject do you teach? It depends. I'm kind of the jack of all trades in that school. I teach English and history as a main like rule kind of. That's my subjects, but I also do well-being sometimes. I do prep for work, community. Prep for work is just preparing kids to go into the workforce. Community is helping them get in touch with the community a bit more. I do some arts sometimes as well. Exemptions from Irish, which is basically just extra English. But yeah, those are my subjects. Thanks for asking. Bread. Which one of your game series that you've done on your channel is your favorite, or just your favorite game in general? By the way, love your channel. My favorite game in general is Shadow of the Colossus. The favorite game series I've done on the channel, the one I had most fun with, is probably the first Danganronpa was like energy. It felt like this electricity every day I was playing that game. This absolute electricity. It was awesome. Yeah, I'd say Danganronpa. Jamie Bull, which is also one of my patrons. Thank you for that, Jamie. What characters from any video games do you think about the most in your day life, if any, and why? And what have they done to impact you in such a way? Tidus in Final Fantasy X has taught me that the world doesn't revolve around me. At a very young age, I played this game and realized I don't want to be a person who is like, man, I'm the most important. Me, it's me. Focus on me. Which is why I became a YouTuber who talks all the time for hours on end by myself. But yeah, he had a big impact on me. Auron is almost like a father figure to me in that game. Final Fantasy X changed a lot about me, really. It really did. So yeah, Final Fantasy X's characters, I think, really did have a big impact on me. To think about other people, to love other people, to learn to let yourself fall in love, all that from Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X taught me all of that. Great Macao? Love this channel. What's your favorite Xenoblade song, and have you ever seen Berserk? Love the art in the manga. I don't know what it's called, but I love the Xenoblade song that plays when anyone's sad in the first game. I forget what it's called. It's good though. It's good. It's really good. And have you ever seen Berserk? I don't think I can handle Berserk, and I think I couldn't handle Berserk. I've seen clips of it sometimes. Not my style at all. My favorite manga all time is Monster. My favorite manga all time is 20th Century Boys. Read the full thing, have all the copies here. My favorite anime of all time is Monster, and Haiku and stuff like that. I don't think I can handle it. If you were a furry, what would your fursona be? Okay, I didn't know what a fursona was. Someone told me that's like what you would be as an animal. I guess like an otter would be like mine, like a tall otter. Yeah, that's probably mine. Dan Dodo 5262. Love your channel, your videos, everything, dude. Thank you very much. Have 2 questions, if that's possible, but have you ever played Monster Hunter or been interested in it? It's one of my favorite games. And which game has had the most emotional response from you? Have you ever played Monster Hunter? I played Monster Hunter on the 3DS. I forget what it's called. It's over here. I can check the copy of it. I played Monster Hunter Generations? Was it Generate? Yeah, and that was really fun. I played Freedom Unite on the Vita when I got on the PSP version. It was pretty good. I'd love to play it at some point, like the other ones. And which game has the most emotional response from you? The first time I ever cried playing a video game was probably Final Fantasy X. But if you're talking about the most emotional response from me, I think you have to say Persona 5. Because I remember finishing that game and my mind was just effed. I was just no, Persona 4 I'd say as well, because I remember finishing Persona 4 and as they're playing the do 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 do. I'm gonna make myself cry. They're playing that at the end. I remember arm over the eyes, drenched in tears. So sad. So sad. We have Yin Sartzi. What are some of your favorite shows, animated and non-animated? I don't watch a lot of live action myself, but I watched Heartstopper on Netflix and loved it. Also love Shameless. If you haven't seen it, you should. Heartstopper is very good. I can't wait for season 2. My favorite shows of all time. I'm trying to think of what's my all-time favorite live action show. What's my favorite? I know my favorite TV show of all time is Monster. My favorite live action TV show of all time is probably Sons of Anarchy. Is very, very good. If you're talking about cartoons, oh my god, man, SpongeBob. I used to watch Kids Next Door a lot. Dexter's Lab. was amazing when I was a kid, still is. I used to watch a lot of like Simpsons, but like King of the Hill is probably my favorite. King of the Hill and Futurama are my favorite animated shows. Those are definitely like my picks for my favorites. Super awesome guy. You might have already answered this, but what if it made you want to make a YouTube channel? I used to watch Markiplier all the time and think, man, this looks like so much fun, and it looks like it gives you so much energy and so much happiness, and yeah, I was right. Markiplier was the thing that inspired me to get into YouTube for sure. Him and Epic Game Bro, I'd say. Is YouTube becoming a career something? This is from Megaton Menace. Is YouTube becoming a career in the future something you want? I wouldn't mind. It would be amazing to have that happen. Really, like, I would have to get to a certain amount on my Patreon. That's it, like, and like already, like, we're almost at €100 on Patreon, which is very nice. But it literally is just like a matter of like, you know, that's the reality of it. You know what I mean? You'd have to like, you know, I'd have to stream more. I'd have to get more on my Patreon, and I'd have to just like upload like a few longer videos. Which, if this was my job, I wouldn't mind uploading longer videos. But yeah, that's it. I'd love it. It'd be amazing. Yeah. The Cool Gamer. Do you plan on ever playing Pikmin 1 or 2 since they got it to the Switch? Yes, they will happen very, very soon. Nintendo. What is your favorite aspect of being a teacher? If for me, it'd be the joy of teaching key skills to kids while making it fun for them, so you can enjoy them seeing actually be happy about it and not find it boring. I think you'd be a dope teacher. For me, it is kind of what you said, connecting with the kids. Without them, we don't have jobs. I never get angry at them because it is literally just like my job to work around them. It's not their job to work around my emotions or my anger. Yeah, that's probably my favorite aspect of it, like, is working with the kids. Trent Colgan has, I'm new, so this might have already been answered. What are your top 3 playthroughs on the channel? Ones you personally enjoyed, regardless of the videos had lots of views or not? Fire Emblem 3 Houses, number 1, I guess, and then Danganronpa and Tears of the Kingdom was so much fun. I say those are my 3 ones I've had like so much fun with playing, regardless of views. And the last question is from Knight. Yeah, I'm sorry that it has the ats and not the names. What is your favorite Pikmin type so far? Pink Mommies are my favorite. The big, the strong, and they can kill you in 2 seconds. You dirty, dirty dog, yeah. That's it. I'm gonna check really quickly if any new questions came in, but that is the Q&A. I hope that I answered all the questions well enough, because I understand that, like, it can be difficult sometimes when I just posted something out of nowhere and you don't get enough time to get your question in. But hey, yeah, I think that's all the questions. Thank you guys so much for asking those questions, and I will see you guys very, very soon. There was a lot of questions there in the video, but I feel like it was fun regardless. I told you guys ask smart questions. You guys are so smart. You're like the smartest people I know. Apart from my grandmother, she's very smart. She's fluent in Irish. Could you believe it? Could you believe it? I'm walking here.